Just say you definitely know your stuff. I mean, I'm just sitting here like this lady knows what she's doing. And you talked about the process.
Yes.
So touch on the requirements. So we
Okay.
talk about the visa, but do they have to earn a certain amount of money or have a certain status? Talk a little bit about who they need to be and maybe the requirements to even have the opportunity to achieve residency.
There are different categories of residency that a foreigner can apply for. You have family reunification, which is when they're married to a Dominican citizen, and that yields temporary residency, not permanent, temporary. And in many cases, if they have a child living here that they support, that can also, that's a little known fact. I've actually gone away with that. Because they have family ties. I am not telling you people to go out and get married. All right? Let's get that out of the way. I had mentioned before that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is a separate entity than the Immigration Department. This is an important fact to understand because even though the qualifications, in other words, the requirements are similar, they're not exactly the same, and I'm going to explain to you why. We've talked about permanent residency under the investment program, which constitutes about 85% of what our office handles. That's our specialty. Now, how do you qualify for residency under the investment program, also known as the fast track? I'm proud to say I coined years ago the term fast track.
I know you are at least, she's modest, but let me tell you something. This is the lady. You coined the term fast track residency.
I'm always trying to put everything into a context.
Okay.
That's what it is. They call it the fast track because it is the shortest route to citizenship. And I'll get into that in just a minute. So when you talk about investment residency, everyone automatically goes to, well, how much do I have to invest?
Of course.
That is one of three avenues. I'm going to explain that to you now. So years ago, to go through the investment department in immigration, you had to invest, according to the law, a minimum of 200,000 US dollars in the country. That's verifiable. So that would get you residency under the investment program. Then 2007 rolls around and we get a president with vision. So he decides to open that door to individuals that meet certain criteria. And what are those criteria? If you're a pensioner that earns a minimum of 1,500 US dollars a month, you qualify.
Wow.
And it's 250 per additional family member. So if it's a couple of retirees, 1,750 gets you through the door.
For fast track
For
residency.
fast track residency.
Okay.
The other avenue is what they call a rentista or a rentier. This is a person who's had passive income for the last 5 years, a minimum of $2,000 per month. For instance, if you get rental income from a property that you've owned for 5 years, a minimum of $2,000, you qualify. If you own a business abroad, you have a company, you have a business, and that business yields an income of $2,000 or more a month, you qualify. Stocks, bonds, annuities, you name it. If it's a passive income, $2,000 or more for 5 years, you qualify for the fast track residency.
Wow.
Yes.
I did not know that.
That is correct. Because everybody goes, okay, investment, but the 200,000, I'm like, one of three avenues, folks.
Right.
One of three. And a lot of people qualify as a pensioner and as a rentista, as a rentier.
Because
they qualify.
many people have passive income, have investments, rental properties, but do they have to be in the Dominican Republic and the business has to be?
No. Any business, any income that is derived abroad qualifies you. The company doesn't have to be here. If you've had a company for years back home and it yields that $2,000 per month, you qualify.
So when you say abroad, just so that we're clear, you mean they could have a business back home?
That's correct.
And that is considered a business abroad.
That is
versus
correct. That's
them being from the United States and having a business
yeah.
abroad. Being
So when I'm
here.
preparing the file, I'm like, I add in the list of documents, they're documents of incorporation from the U.S. company. And I prove it's been registered for 5 years or more.
Okay, and this could be for Canadians as well, and
Any
other nationalities?
nationality.
Okay.
Any nationality.
So take note, folks. You can qualify for the fast track.